Hi, I'm Maple J Milk. The J stands for J Cut. Today I'm gonna go over my idea for an RPG that I want to make at some point. Also, I'm not gonna cut any of this shit because I'm super tired, and if I make any mistakes, it just no, it's part of God's plan. Anyway, now I will say I don't have much time to make an RPG right now. So if you want to steal my ideas, I don't give a shit too much. Just give me some cash money if you do, if you know what I mean. Anyway, um, I love RPGs. They're definitely my favorite genre. The characters, the battles, the stories, and most of all, the atmosphere. Most of my favorite games are RPGs. Ever since I finished Mother 3, I've been inspired to make a game of my own that's that cool. And clearly, I love that genre and the medium of video games as a whole. But I think that the things I really liked about RPGs could be conveyed through other mediums that are easy to complete for me. Of course, I put my skills into making videos and music, but I still want to try and make a game someday. I, like most people, have a copy of RPG Maker lying in my Steam library, and in my case, it's RPG Maker MZ. So here's an RPG I thought of I could feasibly make in it. Um, so firstly, the founding principle of this theoretical Maple Milk RPG is simplicity, not only for the gameplay but for like the production. So for this, I thought of the NES RPG games, or NES or Dragon Quest games, because they're basically like the first console RPGs, but they're also, extremely charming and have a good formula of gameplay, a good gameplay pace about them. I really want to get into the Dragon Quest series because I played Dragon Quest One halfway through twice on two different versions, and I really like how simple that game is. RPGs and basically every other game now is extremely bloated, so Dragon Quest like cuts all the fat and just gets to exploring and fighting. I think it's pretty interesting. I originally thought this theoretical game of having this theoretical game of I thought to have like one party member, right, like Dragon Quest One. But I'm reconsidering it because like Mother One is a pretty good game. It has three party members. Final Fantasy VII has three party members. But also writing character interactions are pretty interesting. I also like battles, a little bit more dynamic stuff. I think I guess having the thing I thought it would take a lot more balancing. Having three more party members would take a lot of balancing, honestly. But having three party members is probably the good sweet spot for me. So the whole concept is you have this one main city in the game. That's pretty much a remote island, kind of like Link's Awakening. You have to go back to that one city for quests and back out into the wild to start them, right? Logistically, it's probably easier to have one big city than like five distinct ones with making tile sets and all that. It could add a lot more depth in the city in terms of like the characters in the world. The setting I came up with is heavily based on like Mongolia, the Philippines, and China. A lot of interesting, cluttered urban settings and unique land usage juxtaposed with the giant wilderness of wide fields and all that. Dragon Quest is basically, Dragon Quest in every RPG is already giant fields, so nothing would really change, and they'd have a reason for it, kind of, based on the inspirations. Since I'm a fan of Final Fantasy VII specifically, there'd be like a massive mix of random time period stuff I think is cool, mostly modernish. I actually think a lot about the stuff being closer to Final Fantasy 15 because I really love Final Fantasy 15's vibe. Honestly surprises me how much I like the vibe of Final Fantasy 15. It's roaming around the vast cityscape with your brothers, your bros. 15 is a lot more modern than any other Final Fantasy game. It's not really fantasy or futuristic, really. It's kind of like slightly more science fiction and fantasy, I really love the contrast in Final Fantasy. Also, Fantasy Star has a lot of cool games. Well, yeah, you basically start on this corner of the island and you explore the island back and forth. We're making the harder areas. We're making harder areas like in Pokemon Ranger or something. Let's get the characters a little. So the story is about this story you play as Pepper, who's like this hero or knight or something from another land. They get shipped here for some reason. I think it's because they needed help fighting the monsters or something, or the pay is better, or I think it might have been like the king sent them or something. I don't know. But this land is built different, so her level 4 gear is not gonna do shit, and she basically has to grind up and get strong enough to protect this island. I think over time she gets to the island and and people, she disliked the island and the people better, and this kind of the overarching story I thought of. I didn't think too much about her personality because, but I do know she really struggles with her training and not knowing much about the new island. Her design's based off of Marina from Mischief Makers, Saber from Fate a little bit. There's a little bit Shantae in there. I think she'd fit in a Genesis game too, kind of. That'd be cool. She's pretty good at fire spells. I think she'd be good at fire spells, physical attacks, and have like the shitty healing spells probably. Next is Ginger. She's the cowgirl or something. Her design is basically just Clint Eastwood with an eye patch, and because I like Himino from Chainsaw Man, gold tooth because it looks cool. The giant shoulder pads inspired by Cloud Strife. She'd probably meet Pepper and show her the ropes a little bit, where she has like a crisis later on in the game because she doesn't know what the fuck she's doing either. I'm sure she'd be like the character with no magic who specializes in like cool skills and stuff, and she also uses all the items. Sorry. I can imagine like any stereotypical cowboy, she'd be saying like one-liners, and since every character I like is a failure, you'd probably be like saying shit and fucking up and missing shots or whatever. That was like bitch, shut up. How the fuck are you gonna say time to say goodbye and then miss the shot? Like whatever. But yeah, she has a cool knife on her neck. I think I like it. And finally, there's Sumac, or Mac for short. I admit he has a pretty basic design. He's got a nice suit because I like Chainsaw Man. He's got sick-ass sunglasses, a nice afro. The here kicker is that he has a toothpick and a case of them in his pocket. More importantly, he has gloves that give him like water powers. I was gonna originally give him boxing gloves, but the water gloves seem way cooler. So naturally, like, water is an element that's associated with healing in these games. So he's got a cool healing spells and like PK freeze or something. I also didn't think much about his character or even Ginger's because they didn't exist 10 hours ago or maybe even 8 hours ago at this point. I don't know. Why is it less at this point? I mean like whatever. But you know, I think he's a chill one. He's a chill character. I think maybe his arc is like he's become less chill over time. Who knows? Just imagine him like with Anderson Paak's voice, and you get the vibe. I didn't. He didn't inspire him. Anderson Paak didn't inspire him, but I wish he did. Yeah, I like thinking of characters as much as I like writing them. Clearly, but yeah, the average gameplay is just you fucking around, getting quests from random townsfolk, and then it builds up to a storyline. I'm sure I'll think of at some point. It's gonna be some kind of boss too. I don't know. Since it's RPG Maker, the default battle system will be fine. I'm kind of going for atmosphere here, then you know, extremely in-depth battle system. You know, try to get close to like Earthbound or Dragon Quest II. Very simple battle system. Also want an excuse to design enemies because I could do that shit in my sleep. Are you kidding me? Just like Earthbound, I want to make the dialogue kind of funny and a little bit dreamlike. Not very referential. Just a game with a lot of regular people doing regular things because regular people are kind of fucking funny in the first place. I could have the word fuck in it, but an RPG might work better like this. If I don't have it, fuck. Keep it fuck free, actually. I think that the setting would be comprised of like really interesting urban settings, mostly shops and buildings and apartment complexes and like a park or two, that kind of thing. Yeah, and you could just walk around and do anything, I guess. I didn't think it through too much. So you'd go to this forest area first, and you go to the mountain area and the temple area and the snowy area because it's cool. You meet this fucker who's been like breeding the monsters, and vow to protect the town because it's actually awesome or something. Look, I'm sleepy and I just want to share my idea. I drew the shit, the MS Paint shit post, so clearly I don't have my shit figured out. That's the end of the video. Bye. I'm fucking tired.